What's up guys, it's Eric here. Today we are VOD reviewing a game from Robin Songs. Not only because, he's one of North America's best players, has done incredibly well in so many tournaments. One of the big reasons I want to review this game is because if you look right side of your screen here, over here, he is playing the Master Yi Legend. I actually talked about this. I slightly mentioned it in my last VOD when I was watching Milk, who was playing the Ornn Legend. There's actually a decent amount of legend diversity now with the nerfs to Bard, now kind of thrown out of the meta completely. People are learning and developing new strats around different legends. So, there's like the Joe Bookmark tech with the Caitlyn legend. There is this tech, which we will watch this game with the Yi legend. Of course, Ornn is just solid. Poro is solid. I haven't seen too much. There's the Dragon King, Aurelion Soul tech. So yeah, there's actually so many viable legends, which is really cool to see. And so I want to take a look at how the Master Yi Legend performs this game, because there's been a bit of buzz about it. Some people saying it's really strong. Some people saying, oh, it's actually not as strong as it looks. So curious to see. Wow, he doesn't, he gets dropped one sword and immediately doesn't really want to even look at holding the Malzahar. I feel like I always hold this Malzahar, especially with early Swain. I probably would also try to hold the Teemo. I probably would have tried away from the Jinx a little bit, hold Malzahar plus, I guess you can't really hold both of them. Malzahar plus Teemo over Jinx. I don't know, maybe Solar Renekton. I think I would have had different unit priority here. Interesting. Maybe he doesn't really like Swark Opener that much. I mean, it's probably fair, especially with this legend. Look at that take, by the way. Just immediate pumping up. But yeah, I think it makes sense when you're playing this legend to play a more sort of narrow line, right? You know that you're ideally going to play around AD with a very strong pumping up. If you're playing AP, it's still fine. Gotta go fast is solid. But it's a lot more straightforward to play around just pumping up, because then you're not playing down an augment option. So yeah. And he also, his items actually work really well for AD, right? This is IE Guinsoo very easily. And then you just play an Aphelios game. Ideally. We will see. But yeah. I mean, you always saw the Samira here after you lose. Honestly, IE probably kills this Poppy, right? I'm kind of surprised he didn't slam it. I mean, the main downside to slamming... Oh, that's not bad. The main downside to slamming IE here is that it does basically lock you into either Aphelios or... I mean, I guess you could go I guess you could play... I'm blanking on the name of the unit. Yasuo. IE Yasuo is not the worst, but you don't really want IE Zeri, as we talked about in the last video. We were just looking at some stats and it doesn't look great. So yeah, he actually kind of wants to keep his options open a little bit. That's why he's not slamming IE. IE is a great Aphelios item. I mean, now I'm oh, I'm gonna go check the stats and it's gonna say IE worst in slot Aphelios. I mean, it's not the greatest item of all time. Ideally, you want just raw damage on him, Deathblade and stuff. But yeah, it definitely appears a lot in his BIS items. So IE very solid. In any case, back to the game. We're on 2-loss streak here, but it's not a bad 2-loss. 88 HP. I mean, it could be a bad 2-loss. We'll see how this next fight goes. If he gets 4-0'd this fight, it's actually kind of a bad 3-loss. But if he kills some units, then he'll be chilling. Cassio actually, as I've talked about in the past, does a really good job at killing units. He might actually kill too many here. Might win this. His opponent does have Sorkson, but you just don't really have that much of a front line to deal with, and he's hit a bunch of 2-stars. So yeah, he's gonna win this. So 2-loss into win. It's not the worst if he wins the next few. It'll definitely start to feel bad if he loses some fights after this, but we will see. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what his item prio is here. He goes for the bow here. I mean, yeah, that makes sense, right, for the Guinsoo. But I mean, I really just want to know what the other stuff he ends up playing with is, because Guinsoo IE really speaks to me in this position. I would be completely fine making that, but he hasn't made the IE yet, so I assume he's just gonna slam the Guinsoo and then just think about it a little longer, I guess. Wow, Karma slots in really well here. You could even, yeah, you can just play the Cassio as well. Get Invoker in, not bad at all. And you could hold the Cassio pair. But yeah, I mean, the other option, I guess, I mean, you're pumping up, so it's not this, but it could have been JGGS. But I mean, there's no way you don't just go Guinsoo from this spot. Yeah, someone in his Twitch chat is memeing about it, about that possibility. But yeah, there's no shot. Yeah, here's where it starts to feel a little bad, but it was kind of hard for him to play. When you have pumping up, it's hard to play for win streak. It's actually just kind of an awkward opener where he was actually too strong for that 2-3 fight. Ideally you would have lost that 2-3 fight and just 5-lost it with pumping up, but he ended up winning that fight because he hit some upgrades. And now, like, what? Now what? He has to just play for, like, no loss streak, but no win streak either. Feels a little bit bad. Also, like, if he had stemmed.e, he probably would have won that first fight, which I guess would make him, like, win-loss, win-loss. So maybe tactical by Robin to not go full win-loss, win-loss, win, to actually have a 2-loss into a 2-loss, so at least he made a couple gold from his streak stage. This actually looks like a solid fight. Maybe... Does Jin just beast mode these? I think he does. Interesting. Okay. So yeah. I mean, not the best streak. 80 HP. I mean, this is really kind of a bad opener, I would say. Like, all that you really have going for you is Jin 2, Aurelia 2, and the Guinsoo Slam. Like, these are good things for sure. But from like a health and streak perspective, it's pretty bad. He has no streak, and he lost 80 HP and basically received like no compensation for it. You know, like he doesn't have the compensation of having like a really solid like 5-loss streak or something like that. The upside is that I guess he got the compensation of oh, he's gonna make Last Whisper, so I guess he's angling for Zeri from here. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's why he didn't slam IE. He wanted to angle more for Zeri this game. Maybe thinking that pumping up is stronger in Zeri than it is in Aphelios. I mean, I feel like it's strong in both, but we'll see. But I mean, I feel like with these item slams, you really now want to play Zeri, right? Aphelios, it's so easy to slot in Freljord that like it's kind of a waste of an item slot if you build Last Whisper. So, you know, you normally only want to play it in Zeri. He also doesn't have the Piltover opener yet, so interesting. I mean, I guess if you think about it a little bit more, Zeri does scale harder with attack speed, like we were talking about in last video, than Aphelios. So I guess in an ideal world, you would play for Zeri. Okay, I don't think you ever take Battle Ready, by the way. I think this augment is just not that good, especially in this comp. Maybe in something like Rek'Sai, where you have like tanks that you care about. So yeah, we can just take this and just have a Radiant item on like our Aurelia for now, and then move it later. I assume it goes on Aurelia. I guess we'll see. Yeah, Aurelia is I mean, just 2-star Aurelia is a beast. But yeah, we'll just continue to play our strongest board. This is like very Robin Song style of play here. Like you play your best units and you know, you do what you can with them and save as much HP as possible and just coast to a top 4. I feel like that is so frequently how Robin Songs plays. And we're absolutely seeing it this game, just slamming solid items for his comp. He did greed a bit, which, you know, is like, I don't know, I feel like Robin is like a super item slam friendly kind of guy. But in any case, he's 30 gold here, 64 HP. It's really a kind of dicey spot. But, I mean, you do sort of expect, ooh, there's the Jace. You do sort of expect to be on the back foot when you take this augment, pumping up, just because you're sacking early game power for late game power. So I would imagine this is how most of Robin's games with this legend go, where you do loss streak early. Ideally, it'd be a cleaner loss streak than what happened this game, where you don't like full, or you don't crack your full loss streak. Ooh, he's fighting Endless Hordes. You guys, I played this augment earlier today and went the fastest 7th of my life. I'm pretty sure I just played it incorrectly, but the stats on this augment actually look really good, which is why I took it. Looks like this player, whoever has it, the other Chibi Gwyn player, is going to take a loss here. Oh, look at that. He doesn't hold the Jace. Huh. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's playing for. He does get an Aphelios off Carousel, which, you know, we could end up going back into the Aphelios, but at this point, our items are a little bit not ideal for it, like I was talking about. I don't think there's maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe he'll play some version of Aphelios that I've never, oh my god, that is Aphelios. Okay, I mean, that is enough of a sign to go Aphelios, I think. I guess the question is, do you put this Last Whisper on Aphelios, or do you read like a better item for him? I guess we'll see. Yeah, because it's kind of awkward to cut the Jhin here and move items to Aphelios already. It's probably slightly weaker. I would be tempted just to do that to make my game plan really straightforward. But yeah, it's probably a little bit weaker because you're losing a Jhin 2 on your board. But yeah, I mean, the other Aphelios pair, I think you have to play around Aphelios this game. And then, yeah, the main thing I'm curious about is if Last Whisper stays on Aphelios, or if he just puts it on someone else to get rid of it, so that he can put like a real third item on Aphelios. I think it partially depends on what you get dropped here. Like if you get dropped like Deathblade from Wolves, then like sure, I'll move Last Whisper somewhere else. Great shop for him, getting the Lysandra and another Ashe. You can actually like play around this Shen and the Aphelios comp. You kind of just mash together what frontline you can find, because like it's 4 Deadeye, and then Sejuani plus Lysandra, and that's only 6 units. Like I confused myself for a second because of like the Freljord, like Ash's Freljord and Deadeye. But yeah, that's only 6 units. And then like it's really just sort of whatever you can add. I think most people end up going like a Taric, and then you can go like Taric Shen really easily, just because Taric's a solid unit and because he activates Targon. Depends on your items, depends on your augments. If you have augments or items that like really play into the shielding aspect of it, then that can be really good. But yeah, he's just gonna open cell here. Gonna go 7 at 4-1 and then roll it down, try to find a Philios. Yeah, he's thinking about the last. I would not immediately stay on the Last Whisper. Definitely wait and see what you get dropped. Because if you get dropped Deathblade here, I would always just make Deathblade on Aphelios. But like, it's not that likely we get dropped Deathblade, so we'll see. Even like GS maybe. Rod, some units. Oh, no items. Okay, well then we probably end up making the Last Whisper. There's our Sejuani. There's like Nasus, like I said, just sort of like whatever frontline you hit can be played. There's a Shen. There is a Urgot. Very solid roll down so far. He still hasn't found what he really wants here, which is the Aphelios too. But yeah, look, he's getting to basically this version of the board that I was talking about. Though he doesn't have an Akshan. Normally it's like Akshan over what here? Oh, he's playing. I mean, he's playing like the level 8 version of the board, so it'd have to be like Akshan over Taric. But I mean, you can just stabilize on this board pretty solid. I don't think you ever need the Ash, or I don't know why I said Ash, but Vi. I mean, this is a solid version of the board. And look at this, he's 64 HP now. He's now on a win streak. He sort of turned the corner with the pumping up, and now we'll see how far he can go. Deadeye Crown. Lets you play for Deadeye. The only problem is that the Akshan is like pretty bad, but I don't think he has a better option. I guess he could go like Radiant Relics. And look for like a tank item. Wow, is that better? It's actually really hard. I mean, with Deadeye Crown, you can potentially play 6 Deadeye late game, but it's kind of hard. Yeah, I probably would go for Relics here, actually, now that I think about it some more. Oh, what are these? I mean, you can go Locket. You can go Locket, I guess. I think it has to be Locket, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst. You have Targon in. He's still, yeah, Shen shields the entire row, so what you want to do is like backline your entire team usually and just get insane shield value. Though, how long does it last? It lasts for 60 seconds. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely do that. There's actually a Locket diff if he loses it, by the way. Okay, he wins, so he's chilling. Yeah, you can't sell any of this stuff. Okay. And now it becomes really appealing to get like Soraka in later. But like, how are you gonna get Soraka in? Like, you still really want to play for Deadeye. Like, yeah, I like just like backlining a lot of my team here. Yeah, I think he's just gonna sack the value on his backline and just only, oh my god, what a shop. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like, sometimes you just, in your head, you're just like, let's just roll here for fun. He rolls, and it's fun, and it's very good. But yeah, I don't actually see how you fit Soraka in before like level 9. And then like if you're going 9, you're probably adding something better than a Soraka. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to fit her here, unless you have like Deadeye +1, and then you could skip the Akshan. But I don't think Deadeye +1 really does that much in his spot. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it a good bit, because like the main issue is that Gwynsu's doesn't really do anything in your spot. You're putting a Gwynsu onto 1 Akshan, and then like Deadeye +1 also is not going to do anything on 8. You have to cut something else to make it really work. So yeah, I like this play. What item component does he have open? I mean, I see this. It should be solid. He can't get that. Like Rod for another Locket component, I guess. Oh, he's Rod open. Oh, it's a little bit rough. Yeah, he definitely wanted to just grab another Locket and then just use that for frontline, but sadly cannot get that. Yeah, I mean, this positioning is probably more solid late game than what I was talking about, just backlining your entire team. That's going to mess up, like, it's very likely that you're going to get punished for that. So, I like this. And I mean, you're still getting Locket value onto 5 units. It's still very solid. So, yeah, I mean, look at that. The target value, I mean, it actually looks kind of small, but maybe that's because they super nerfed Locket. Though I think Radiant Locket is still, I mean, I think they did nerf it, but I think it's still like pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just going 8 at an Akshan. I mean, look at the streak, man. We're on a 7 streak. It really feels like pumping up is just sort of like getting out of control. Now that we have this board, I mean, we're just in an amazing spot. I feel like this Master Yi legend is kind of the opposite of the Caitlyn legend, in that like you sack early game power, but if you are on like a reasonable board at all late game, just like, look, he's winning every fight on like a board that is, I mean, it's definitely solid, but it's not like the most insane board you've ever seen, you know? So yeah, like I feel like that's really what this Master Yi legend does, is it just says like, okay, if you can make it to stage 4 and your board is reasonable whatsoever, like you can just win every fight. I mean, just look look at the attack speed on this Aphelios, man. He just dealt 9k damage, and it's only getting better, right? It's getting better every single round, which is quite crazy. Also smart of him to backline the Urgot there, just so that he could try to Zephyr backliner with the Radiant Zephyr. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just level up. You could either 5-2 it or 5-1 it. He has enough gold that he could. I don't know. I mean, his board is like pretty solid, so you could just sack one, so that you like have as much gold as possible. He's gonna opt to just level here. Okay, gets in a Vi just for the bruiser. Okay, and just still gets to make 20. Interesting. His items are kind of like, what are these items? That's really rough. Q-cone, Q-cone, and then it has to be death. I mean, I can actually go back on this thing very easily. I was thinking more like Declaw. I don't know, maybe double Q-cone is actually better. Declaw blue buff or something. I don't know, Q-cone with the changes to it, it's actually a really solid like frontline item. It's kind of like the I think of it more like an AP well, what do you call it? Protector's Vow now, that it like doesn't provide you as much tank stats, but it's like the exact same thing as Protector's Vow, where it like provides you MR instead of armor, but it makes you cast faster. You know, like that's basically how it works. Yeah, look at that shielding from Shen, by the way. I was there's someone in my chat actually, the high challenger player in my chat, who was talking about Shen's AP scaling is actually like quite solid compared to a lot of other tanks like Sejuani. So like the Death Cap Shen, it's not even the worst thing you've ever heard, because like those shields he makes are pretty big on base. So, you know, if you scale that with a Death Cap, it's very solid. But yeah, I mean, I think we're just seeing the power of pumping up here, right? He's just winning every fight. He's on a 10 streak. He doesn't even need to, like, normally I would definitely want to roll here and just get 4 Deadeye in, but like, it looks like he doesn't even need to roll. Like, his board is just that solid. Like, if you hit an Aphelios 2 with this pumping up 3 augment, like, you're just winning. I think also, the person who wrote the guide on this comp said that pumping up 3 is like the best one by far. But, like, pumping up 1 is like, okay. But like, yeah, the prismatic one is like drastically better. This is also sick, giving the double Q cones to this Shen to give him even more AP. Like, it's actually so much shielding. It's actually hilarious. But yeah, in hindsight, the Q cone does a lot of work. Also, I mean, I want to look at the entire lobby, but it's not the most like AP heavy lobby. Like, it was. What? How? Actually, how did that kill him? That's actually insane. Okay. AD-wise, armor-wise, Protector's Vow there was fine, but he can't get that anymore. He doesn't have Healing Reduct, right? Sunfire is really solid. He gets Sunfire. What does he have to go, like Zeke's? Zeke's is so low value here, though. Yeah, just Sunfire is good. He has so much attack speed already. You don't need Zeke's at all. Yeah, Sunfire is perfect. Oh, and he even hits the Sejuani, too. Great. And he hits Scion. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that has to just go on Shen. Sejuani is solid too. What's interesting, actually, is he hasn't had his Sejuani same side as the Aphelios this stage, which is usually what I hear people do. I mean, it's what I myself do. I'm pretty sure it's just Shen because he's the tankiest. But like, you know, like Sejuani's gonna ult this unit on the right, and then like getting the Sejuani like on hit damage proc on the unit that Aphelios is hitting, I think is really good. Maybe that's just an oversight, or I don't know. I mean, maybe the only other reason would be if he wants to like chill a unit on the opposite side. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, at this point, still, he's just going fast, 941 HP. Like, he's actually just dominating the lobby with this augment. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it's absolutely doing work. But yeah, it's so interesting because, like, you know, as someone who's been playing a lot of Caitlyn recently, also, if you don't know why he's doing this weird thing, like, I'm just gonna preempt because I'm sure someone in chat is gonna, like, YouTube comments is gonna ask about it, like why he does this thing where he buys his entire shop and sells it. All the units in your shop are taken out of the pool. If you buy them all and sell them, they go back into the pool. So like if your shop has a bunch of garbage in it, theoretically you should buy your entire shop and sell it in case someone else in the game is like rolling. However, you know, like there's a Zeri player in this lobby. If you're afraid of them hitting like Zeris, then you can, you know, like leave a Zeri in your shop. But I think most of the time he's just seeing like, you know, let's look at this shop. Yeah, like he even buys everything. Yeah, look at this actually. He holds the 4 costs for a sec. But I mean, I don't think anyone's rolling here, so I don't really see the value of it. But maybe someone's rolling here. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you just want to level. Ideally, you get the 4 Deadeye in, I would have to say. I don't know, maybe... Oh, well, there's the Akshan if he wants it. He hasn't, like, really prioritized it very much, but I still feel like 4 Deadeye is quite good, yeah. Minimize here. Does he have enough damage? I guess, I mean, the problem is, like, it's not like you're putting items anywhere else. I probably would have gone a Gargoyle instead of a Warmogs. I don't actually know what the... like how you calculate the effective tankiness, but I imagine something like Gargoyle, especially with all the shields that this Sedge is getting, would be better. I mean, the main issue is that, like, with your entire team spread in a line like this, it's actually going to be very hard for it to get Gargoyle value. Okay, I could see it. Warmogs instead of that, because, like, how are you actually getting Gargoyle value on this board? Very likely it's, like, there's not going to be enough units actually targeting her. But okay, that's another win. He has secured top 4. Wow, 3 people died in that fight, actually. And now it's just him, Bryce, and Mad Matt. Also, this Bryce guy, Esports Law, I don't know if you guys seen him play. You know, he's a TFT caster, also is like a lawyer in his real life. This guy is an absolute beast. He just posted that he hit 1 KLP. He's got like 150 games played or something like that. The guy's a monster, man. Like, if this guy was full-time TFT, wouldn't he just be like a beast? Like, he's just, like, he's probably playing against players who have like 2 to 3 times his amount of games and are the same amount of LP. Like, he's just like insanely efficient. I mean, I think he talks to a lot of pro players and like gets their insight into stuff, and then also probably does a lot of study. I think he talked about his sort of like routine, and there's a decent amount of study that goes in as well. So just a very sort of like disciplined approach to TFT, which is really cool to see. I mean, I'd love to VOD review him, but sadly, I don't think he streams at all. It'd probably be hard with all of his other responsibilities. He just rolled 3 times and is it like Goldenade or Repair-O-Matic? What do you even want this Heimer for? Okay, this is just me. I mean, Heimer's such a broken unit that you probably just play him anyway on 9 instead of this 4 Deadeye. But like, yeah, I don't know. Heimer's just too broken. It's like, you don't need the Armor Shred. You do not need the Healing Reduc. Like, you don't need anything that Heimer provides, but it's just like, CC, like that grenade that Heimer throws is so insane. Just the turret damage is like a little bit extra, a little bit extra there. Like, he's probably gonna go, I would imagine, like multiple Mechanos just for damage, but we'll see. Oh my god, that is so illegal. He even pings it. Just gets 4 Freljord and a Scion off Carousel. That's just not reasonable at all. But yeah, okay. Double Mechano here? I think it actually makes sense. Oh my god. He also has Radiant Zeeks here? I mean, he still has to win 2 fights to actually win this game. Bryce is 29 HP. Also, what is Bryce's board? There's a 6 Challenger board. Wow. Okay. I played the 6 Challenger board early on into the patch, and I kind of hated it. But, like, the more I think about it, I feel like it's just that Yasuo is quite item dependent, and that, like, if you don't have damage on Yasuo, this unit sucks. Yeah, I think when I played it earlier on in the patch, I just did not itemize Yasuo correctly, it bit me. So yeah, I actually think the comp is better than I thought, but still not amazing. So yeah, I mean, we rolled here. If you find 3rd Mechano, you could sell your bench for it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're probably winning this fight. But yeah, I mean, if there was another Mechano in shop, you probably would have bought it. But like, you really want to sell your Heimer here to keep rolling? Maybe. Because this is like almost definitely the last fight. Like, the only way this is not the last fight is if you lose by a very small margin. But I mean, that is not happening. Just look how strong we are with the pumping up 3. All right, a really cool game from Robin, showing off the power of this legend as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all my other links to my Discord and other stuff down below. Thanks for watching.